Welcome to the Outlander Unhinged podcast, where we talk deep dives, wild theories, and the heart of Outlander. I'm Doreen.
Liz.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Katie. Grab your snacks, Sassenachs. It's time to talk about Outlander.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of the Outlander Unhinged podcast. We hope everyone had a great holiday and break. We all did, but we're back. We're excited to be recording. Jenny, do you want to go ahead and introduce today's topic?
Absolutely. Today's topic is Ye Asked, We Answered, the Unhinged Question and Answer Part 2.
So many of you sent in amazing questions, and we felt so bad that we couldn't get to them all in the previous episode. So we decided to do a part 2 and try to get a good portion of the remaining questions answered. So let's dive right in.
And I think we were talking about this before we started recording, that some of the questions are going to have to kind of have its own episode because they were really intriguing questions that we couldn't answer in one episode. So Katie had made the suggestion that we'll just answer the question in an individual episode. So if you don't hear your question, we promise we're going to get to it. So starting with one of our favorite people, LT.
Yeah.
Love you.
We love you, LT.
We love LT.
We do.
Besides the main characters, who are side characters you would love more of? Like maybe even a dream spin-off show of them.
Lord John Bay, Lord John Bay, Lord John Bay, Lord John Bay.
He got a spin-off. Okay, Katie, you go first.
Not in the book. I mean, in the books he did. I want a show. David Barry said he'd be down. So come on, stars, let's go.
That would be interesting.
Spin-off, Lord John Bay spin-off.
And Diana just announced this week that she's writing a new novella about him. So
I saw that.
The Black Chamber, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm. The source material's there. It would be easy to do.
And he said, like, David Barry was like, yeah, I want to do, like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Why not? Just do it, please. I need more of my Lord John Bay.
What about you, Jenny? I feel like I know who she's going to say.
I would say I wanted to see what happened in the show. If we're talking, I want to see what happened to Murtagh. Is that what you thought?
No, I thought you were going to say Dougal.
I did too.
Believe it or not.
I thought Jenny was going to say Taryn Macquarie to get like a backstory on him.
yeah.
That's what I thought.
Listen,
Because
if
you
he's
know
out there
she
listening,
rides for that man.
My God, if you haven't watched Shetland, it's on either Acorn or BritBox. And that actor did like 6 seasons of this show called Shetland. Shetland is an island off of Scotland. He was amazing in it. He's just one of my favorites. But yeah, I would like to see what happened to Murtagh during that time since he was shipped off and he arrived in America. That would be a kind of cool spinoff.
That would be.
Yeah.
What about you, Liz?
I gotta go with my man's Roger McDaddy Woo. I'm so interested to like see like before we actually meet him in Outlander, right? From when he's very young to when we see him again, like what happened in all that time, because I feel like those were probably very formative years for him, and I would love to see more of his interactions with the Reverend Wakefield, who became his father at that point. I also feel like I want more of a backstory on Tom Christie. I want more story on him before we meet him. I'm just so intrigued by his character. I really am. And I'd love more on young Ian too. I'd love more on him.
I could see
I have
that.
to add in, I would like to see a spinoff of a young Galus. What the hell are we missing in the whole
that
story?
would be good too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We need more on her.
I love that Liz is in her Tom Christie era.
She really is.
I really am.
Yeah, she's riding hard for that man right now.
I am riding hard. Yes, I am. Yes. Doreen, what about you?
I can't pick one, but I think my first one would be Joe Abernathy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, good one.
Because especially in the books, he has such a significant role in Claire and Brianna's life. And even just Katie, you're really just getting to the point in Voyager now where you're meeting his ancestors and you're learning about, Ishmael and him being a tribal medicine man. And it's
Yeah.
really intriguing how that ties into Joe being a doctor and actually being like the first, medical student of his family, of his culture. And it's just really a beautiful storyline. And I would even just love if the show tapped more into his book
Yeah.
character. I also honestly would really love Reverend Wakefield, and because I believe that we know that he knows everything Frank knew, and I would love to see more of that develop and play out, and if
Yeah.
his death
I think
really
that's a good
was an
one.
accident or anything along those lines. So,
I think it would be fun to, I don't know that you can make a whole like spin-off about it, but like what I think they could actually probably, when she writes a book, like just do like a little mini series or something on what Frank knew. And
mhm.
then like what was he doing in those 3 years while she was gone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Because we
even
don't
when she
know.
came back and he
Yeah.
was writing to the Reverend, they were looking things up.
Mhm.
There's a lot I can't really expand on, but even in later books, you learn that he really just knew a lot of stuff, and it's very intriguing. So, and I agree with Ian and Galis when you guys say that too.
Mhm.
Especially Galis, like her
Oh my God,
notebooks
yeah.
and where she learned all these things. It's really
Yeah.
intriguing.
Yeah.
It is.
So, okay. Next question is from Mary. I'm Mary Sassenach on TikTok. Hi, Mary.
Love Mary.
What do you think the ending of Outlander will be? Books and show. What would be your perfect ending? I don't think I can answer that honestly in one sitting. Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh boy.
Think spoilers though before you answer. Like
Yeah, I
if
know this is going to be hard. I don't know. Look, ideally, we all want that happily ever after. I think, that we just um see them all existing on the ridge. And when I say all, I really mean all of them in their happy place. Um just as a big family, I'll leave it at that. Like everybody's together and they just kind of fade away. And at some point they're going to pass away. I don't know that I necessarily want to see that on the show.
Mhm.
I am still hopeful for a movie like everybody else that it will finish out the story like they did for Downton. Books. I would like to see the relationship between Jamie and William repaired. I would like to see the relationship between William and Lord John repaired, because that still goes along with what you guys have seen on the show. Yeah, I don't know that I can go much further than that. I think in the books, I do need some sort of a finite ending. Like, I do need to know when Claire and Jamie die. I would like to know where everybody ends up. I think it will be completely different than the show.
Hmm.
And that's it. I know it seems vague, but people who've read the books can probably kind of understand why I'm being a little bit more vague.
Mhm.
So, who wants to go?
Go ahead,
I guess I'll
Katie.
jump in. Oh,
Okay,
go
Liz.
ahead.
No, Liz, you go.
Am I going or is Katie
Yeah,
going?
you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
I'm
ahead,
going.
go ahead.
Okay. So I think in the books, right, I'm almost done with Bruno, book 5. So I still have a ways more to go. But I think for the books, so first of all, I do desperately want the explanation for Jamie's ghost that we know we're getting in the epilogue of book 10 to kind of make the beginning make a lot of sense and just hopefully add some missing pieces of the puzzle back in. And I think in the books we're going to need to have Jamie and Claire pass away in order to kind of close out this cycle for them and figure out, is this really just one life cycle, or is this a situation where their souls are always finding each other and meeting again in every lifetime for them? I think that's a huge question for me. How is this going to work? And really, how is the Mobius going to come into play with that? So I think with the books ending, right, we need a lot of the storylines that are open thus far in the show, because the show is much farther than where I am in the books, to be closed. I agree with everything that Jenny said. I want to see the prophecy come to fruition. I want to see, even with Claire's hair, come to fruition. All of those things. In the show, I don't think that I could handle the ending of season 8 being the actual end with Jamie and Claire passing away. I
Yeah,
am
I would
also very, very hopeful for a movie, because the source material will be there in book 10 to create something else after season 8. And I'm hoping that season 8 is going to be what has been talked about as a satisfying ending, meaning it will close up storylines and it will leave everybody feeling hopeful and happy, but also open-ended enough that the story could continue. So I think ideally that's what I would want. Katie, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with what you guys said. I just want everything kind of tied up in a nice, neat little bow. I want everybody to be one big happy family living on the ridge. And I know there's a lot of debate about, do they, spend their last years in Scotland? Do they live at the ridge? For me personally, like, the ridge is their home, where they built a home together. Lollybrock is, of course, Jamie's childhood home. I think that Claire would bury him there just to be with his family, I would think. And I say that because Diana has said the book is going to end in the 1800s in Scotland. It'll leave readers in floods of tears. So I'm wondering if it's, the book will end with maybe them taking Claire and Jamie to be laid to rest at Lollybrock. I don't know. But I agree. I think in the books, which of course I'm not that far, but I think I will need that sort of closure just to know. But in the show, I agree. I don't know that I could handle that. Like, it's already going to be like a huge loss for me and for a lot of us. So I don't know that I could handle seeing them die on the show. But yeah, I would love for everybody to just be living on the ridge as one big happy family. Everybody, like Jenny said, like Williams, patch things up with Lord John, with Jamie, and everybody's just happy.
All right, Doreen, this is the big guns. Let's go.
I don't really feel like I can answer this completely, but I will say that I think the ending of the show is going to parallel 3 huge storylines in book 9. And for those who have read the books, I'll just say, like, I think the ending is going to be very close after King's Mountain, and it's going to be a pan out and a fulfillment of certain things. And I do think that the show is going to address Jamie's ghost as his telepathy power and his dreaming power, and that he goes to sleep, and in his sleep he's visualizing Claire in the window, and that's how the show is going to address it. I absolutely do not think that's how it will be resolved in the book. Unless you were talking about, you're hoping that they will show that they're meant to be together in every universe and in the Mobius. And I think you were referring to the book. And I've talked about this too. I think that they're an example of quantum entanglement, and there's going to be a much deeper dive into that in book 10. And they've already started diving into that in book 9. So my ending of the books, I have a very different route that I go, but I think the show, and Matt's been pretty clear that everything is going to be very focused on Jamie and Claire. So I think it's going to be 3 big storylines that are going to get resolved. It's going to be a pan out of them, like, happily on the ridge, maybe, because I view that as their home at this point. And I don't necessarily think the ending of the book, and I will say this, in 1800 Scotland, I don't think it has anything to do with Jamie and Claire. I don't think the end of the story has anything to do with Jamie and Claire.
Well,
So
and that
that's
makes
really all I can
sense
say about
because,
all
like,
that.
I don't
So,
know that Diana would just be like, they died, the end. So, I mean, that does make
That's
sense.
all,
Like,
folks.
I think that even when they die, they don't die. And I think it's an example of, and I always tell Jenny, please watch Everything Everywhere All at Once because it's about parallel timelines and parallel universes and jumping between them. And it's all about accessing these places in your mind and having like a telepathy type power. And that's how I view Outlander. And I know we talked about the space between last week. I think we have to do a whole episode on the space between and get further into that. But long and short of it, that's my
Super
that's my
vague.
very vague answer. So I do think show watchers will be happy because if they do the one big event and go tell the bees that I'm gone, it will be such an emotionally impactful scene and it will leave you feeling very fulfilled.
Yes,
I believe. Jenny with King's Mountain.
I don't understand how it's going to be
Yeah.
put on TV.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Like, there's.
I know. I don't either. It's going to be interesting. Like all of a sudden, are we going to start
and that's all we
diving
can
into
kind
the
of say to be
powers?
vague.
I
Like,
don't know.
it's not spoiling anything, but I do not know, having watched all 7 seasons, how suddenly this will appear. So hold on to your hats, ladies. That's all I can say.
Okay.
It'll happen though. I cannot wait. I just cannot wait for you guys to get to book 9. Okay. Next question comes from our lovely friend Caitlin. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. We haven't, just so you guys know, we didn't read any of these questions really beforehand, just some of the really long ones where we were like, this has to be a separate episode. I want to know if there's any plot line you would have changed from Diana's original story and how you would have changed it. Maybe a character making a different choice or a storyline going in a different direction.
I'll answer this. It's kind of the opposite of what she's asking, but I would be interested to see if they had kept Dougal as his character in the book. He's so completely different to me in the book. He's much more soft-spoken. He seems to have a little bit more leadership qualities. They make him very much a hothead in the show that just, makes decisions without thinking. And I think in the show, I think in the books, he's a lot more, he thinks out his decisions a little bit more than he does in the show. That's the switch that I would do, even though it's the opposite of what she asked.
Well, but is there anything in Diana's original story that you would change?
All right, then go ahead. I don't know.
I have 2.
Go ahead.
I can top 2 off the top of my head. Okay, I'll go. First one is freaking Leary marrying Jamie. It was so unnecessary. We did not need that storyline. I'm sorry, I will die on that hill. It did not need to happen. Second one as a whole is I did not enjoy the Yi Tin Cho portrayal in the books at all. I thought it was very racially charged and stereotypical. And I understand this is not a criticism on Diana because I understand as an author, you want to write something that is authentic to the time and the experience of the character. I just personally did not enjoy it. And I felt that the decisions he ends up making and the animosity towards Jamie and the things that he does in Jamaica felt very out of character for how he was built up as a character.
I freshly remember this because I just finished Voyager, and I was shocked at the introduction of him because I'm just like, that's not at all what he's like in the show. And I actually prefer the show version. He's appreciative to Jamie. He's, Jamie saved his life, and versus the book where, like you said, he's resentful because he views that Jamie has just destroyed his life and taken everything from him, and I understand that to an extent, but at the same time it's like the dude saved your life, like you were like, he gave you a job,
you were starving on those docks,
gave
down
you
there.
a shelter. So I agree with that 100%. I think for me, the only one, I definitely agree with Doreen's. The only one that I can think of off the top of my head is I wish we did have more of Murta. I really love that the show kept him in there. And I like his storyline in the show. Doreen just took her headphones off. I don't know if that's bad.
No, my microphone died. No,
We're
I
not
actually
having
just made
any
a
more talk.
I've had enough of this. No.
that's it.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm
I
totally
agree.
kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I agree with you. I actually made a video about Murtaugh today and how that's one change that I
Yay.
actually loved. Yeah.
He's
I was
such
just
a great
teasing, but
character.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
and we
It
got to
is,
give
like,
props
and I-
to Duncan. He did an amazing job.
Oh,
Like, how do you
Fantastic.
when you read Murtaugh in the book, to get that acting and that feeling out, that was just amazing to me. He was a great
Yeah.
actor for that
Mhm.
role.
Incredibly
and
talented.
it makes sense why they kept him in the show. You know, a lot of Paris, Jamie and Claire aren't together, so it's a lot of internal dialogue. And that's why, you know, one reason they kept Murtaugh was so they could voice those thoughts to someone.
Yeah, he's like
'Cause
the
you can't
buffer of the
constantly
relationship.
like you can't constantly be doing like voiceovers, right, for every scene. So
Yes.
it makes sense why they kept him, but I love it. I love that choice, and
Mm.
I wish we could have gotten that in the book, because I think Myrta and Jamie's relationship is just so extremely beautiful.
Mhm.
And then when he finds him again in America,
God.
oh my God. I cry
That scene-
every time.
Every
That
time.
scene to me was
Blacksmith.
more emotional than his and
Mhm.
Claire's reunion, and I will die on that hill. Like that.
Oh,
yeah, his and
hell
Claire
no.
felt flat.
Oh, back the fuck up right now.
I
Oh,
stand
completely
with
fell
Jenny.
flat.
no.
Nope, completely fell flat.
I stand with Jenny.
Sorry.
Yeah, Murtaugh, like the emotion you saw in their faces was like unbelievable, and it made me feel something. Claire was like, "Hi," and he's like, "Oh, let me fall on the floor." Like it was so bland. I'm
Did
sorry.
you
I love
see
Katrina.
Sorry, I
Trina's
thought
I love
I
eyes?
pissed my pants.
Feeling
right.
it isn't Geordie. It's me.
And then they're like
Claire.
acting awkward. I'm telling you right now, if I had traveled 200 fucking years in the past to find him, there wouldn't have been space between us in that moment. Like, come on, there is no
Okay.
space
There's no
between there.
space between.
That's
Jamie
right. I would
passed
have
the
been
fuck out and thought he pissed himself. That
no.
you're telling me that's what?
Okay.
Yeah, I can see
I
him
just
being
want to point
upset.
out.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to point out this is a perfect example of why this foursome is two twosomes, because we've got Katie and Liz who are like, Jamie and Claire, it was so beautiful, and me and Jenny
Yeah.
are like, but Murtaugh and
Oh my
Jamie. But to me, Claire and Murtaugh, oh my gosh,
Oh
when
my
she
God.
came out
Yes.
the door on the
Okay.
ridge, ah,
Yes.
Yes.
And he was singing Boogie Boogie Bugle
Point.
Boy from the distance. He's whistling. She's like,
Fair point.
"Am I having an out of body experience?" And then she sees him and they hug. Look, even the reunion between Claire and Rupert. When they met on the getting ready for Culloden, he lifts her in a hug like they hugged Mrs. Fitz. There was more emotion in that than I saw with Jamie and Claire. So
it felt earned. It
done.
felt earned.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was phenomenal.
I don't know. I just love the relationship they have with Myrta, and I think his ending in the show was very fitting of his character. He was always going to be that rebel, fighting for what's right, and
Yeah.
he died defending what he died defending his beliefs, and I think that was very fitting for his character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as sad as it is, I think it's
Mhm.
very fitting.
Okay. I have a fun idea for this next question.
Okay.
I didn't answer yet. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
no,
answer
shit.
yet.
All right. My bad. Get yourself in there. Let's go.
Okay, first of all, I apologize for my outburst. I apologize.
She's channeling her inner Doreen today.
Okay, so I agree. I do agree with everything except what Jenny said about Jamie and Myrta's reunion being better than Jamie and Claire. But I agree with all of the changes that you guys said. And I want to answer this question with a preface that we all understand that Diana wrote this story she has a whole plan in mind.
Mhm.
Everything is playing out the way that it's supposed to, and we fully understand that. I think for me, aside from what has already been discussed, because I watched the show first, I would have maybe not written Frank the Tank in the book as harshly as he was, because I really do think that his general character has a much larger significance to the overall story, and it's hard. I think it's hard to be able to see that as probably someone who read the book first and kind of met Frank that way, to really see the bigger picture with him. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying it factually. But I think because I watched the show first and really fell in love with Frank on the show first before I read him in the book, I would have maybe not written him so harshly. But I do understand he was supposed to be written that way, because he's not supposed to be liked and adored in the show. But he does serve in the books, I mean, but he does serve a purpose. And I think the second one for me is, I'm desperate for an answer for what happens to Buck Mackenzie. I desperately want to know what happens to him. And we've met him on the show, and I've met him in the books, in book 5. And I feel like I just need to know what happened to him. So I think I would have closed out his story. If I were making that change, I would have closed out that story. That's all I got.
No, that's very good. And yeah.
One of Doreen's squirrels is sitting outside my window right now. I swear to God, it's running. It's running up and down.
Just me.
It's running up and down the fence. Its tail is like doing like a wiggle at me. And then he turned around and he went like this over the fence. Like, what are you doing in that room, lady? It was, yeah.
Yeah, because he was trying to go like this. How dare you say Myrta and Jamie are better than Clarence? You squirrel.
Looking in the window like, ladies, what are you up to? Hello, Mr. Squirrel.
Can I join your podcast? Do you need a squirrel?
He can hear me.
Let me
He
see if I can
senses
flip
that
the
I'm in
screen.
here.
Squirrels.
Squirrels.
Can I flip this screen? This is crazy. Like, he's staring at me, Doreen. Knock it off. People pound with contacts. No,
Mr. Squirrel. Good job.
I can't flip it.
I'm
He's just hanging
telepathically
out there.
communicating with him.
With
Oh
your
my
people.
God.
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
funny.
Here's the tail. Oh my God.
But
Sorry.
No. But Liz, I agree with Frank the Tank, because I watched the show first as well. And when I read, I love Frank in the show. Do I love every choice he makes? No, but that's true for every character. And when I read the books, I was like, this isn't Frank. What?
Yeah.
But it is Frank.
Devastating.
He's a
Frank.
dick. Yeah, so I was just like, that's why I say book Frank can fuck right off, because I don't like him, but I do love show Frank.
We're all a
And,
little spicy today.
I remember feeling so bad for Frank.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel bad for him in the books. I was like, yeah, bye. But like Liz said in the last time with the car accident, like I was sobbing. Like I still sob watching
Oh
it.
my
Like
God,
I can't.
Scene.
Hard.
Here's the
I
thing.
That was a hard
to
scene.
watch. Yeah.
And Katie, I think I get your point, but I think what the reason is, and I feel like I hate that I have to say this now, that this is just my thought. This isn't me thinking I'm saying a fact, but the show had to make Frank a bit softer so we would feel the conflict of Claire wanting to go back, because we don't have the inner monologue and we don't have the time for people to understand that conflict. So making them seem happier, Frank a little kinder, a little softer, making you feel bad for him, you're kind of like, oh, I hope she gets back to the Stones. I know, and you kind of feel her struggle in a way that's not really present in the books. And particularly once we learn more in later books, I think it's important that Frank is not likable. I think it's a huge part of his role.
Okay.
But I also
I don't
think
know.
when it comes to separating them, you do kind of get stumped on really loving the actors. Like, I adore Tobias. He did an amazing job. We say that all the time.
Yes.
Duncan
Yes.
LaCroix made an amazing Murtaugh, and that's the reason why his character was kept. He was a fan favorite. So I personally enjoyed reading the books with these people in my head now as the faces of the character.
Same.
Like, there's, for me, I can't separate that, although I can separate the book and the show. I just like to have their
Yeah.
faces in there, and that's what I see them
I'm the
as.
same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
it makes, I don't know, it makes a connection. And I've said this to you guys before. I'm more of a visual, hands-on person in order for things to retain. So yeah, I do
Mhm.
still picture Tobias in my head when I'm reading the books. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Tobias, I don't
Yeah.
like that you're playing a racist. Yeah, that's the struggle, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right, what's next?
Okay, so this is I have a fun idea for this one. This is from Alexandra, and it's a two-part question.
Okay.
The first question, it says, this question is for Doreen, but I've heard you say before that Claire has amplifiers. Can you expand on who you think they are and why you think they are amplifiers? We're not going to answer that here because that would be humongous book spoilers, but I just wanted to read the
Yes.
question. The second one, and this is the one I think will be fun. For all of you, which character do you secretly love that is pretty hated in Outlander? Don't answer. I think it would be very fun if all three of us together say who we think. Like, we'll start with Katie, and the three of us will say who we think she's going to pick. And we'll do it for each other and see if we're right. Do you guys want to do that?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
on the count of three,
I gotta
let's
think,
all...
I gotta think though.
Wait, let me think.
I know who,
I need to
I
think
think
for
I know who
Doreen and
all of you
Jenny.
were going to pick.
It's who you don't like. It's who you don't like in Outlander.
No, it's who you secretly love that no one else
Secretly.
likes.
Yeah,
Oh, Katie,
but I
that's
gotta
also
think
who you
about this
secretly love that no one else likes.
I feel like Liz and I are super easy. I'm stumped on Doreen and Jenny. Oh no, I know Jenny's.
I'm not stumped
Oh.
on. I feel like all of ours are okay. Let's all. Does everybody
I feel like
know who
Katie's
they
is
think
easy.
Katie's is?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
you
no, I think I
love.
know Doreen's. I think I know
Okay,
Yes.
on the
Doreen's.
count
Okay.
of three, let's all say who we
Wait,
think.
hold on. I'm sorry. Can you explain the question to me one more time, please?
Who
I have like
we-
brain
okay.
Who
fog.
is her
so-
secret,
Who
like, love?
that everybody
Right,
else.
so
Everybody
who
else
you-
hates.
Oh, that everybody else hates. Okay. Okay. And we're going with Katie first.
Yeah, we're all
Yes,
gonna do it on
Because
the
I'm the
count of
most
three.
obvious, I think.
Okay, do we all have Katie's answer?
Are we doing
Yes.
book or show, or it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Stephen Bonnet.
Bonnet.
You guys.
Steven, because I thought we were taking turns going around. Okay, so we're gonna say it at the same time.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
sorry.
I know
Steven
you know it's
Bonnet.
Bonnet.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna
absolutely.
say it at the same. I thought you were gonna say it then, Jenny. Then I was gonna say it. Sorry. Okay, that's okay. Now I understand. You know what? Next time, can we just do a practice first so that I understand what we're gonna do?
I sent the squirrel over to you. That's why it got stirred up.
Okay.
Laughing so hard.
Oh
I'm
my God.
sweating.
Okay, I thought we were gonna. It was gonna go like bing bang bong, and then Katie was gonna say her answer. Okay.
I love that. Doreen, 1, 2, 3. Only one.
Okay. So, does everybody understand the rules now?
Yes,
Okay.
I understand it now.
Katie, was I correct since I was the only
Yes,
one?
You were correct. Yes, Stephen
Yeah, I
Bonnet.
answered. I think my microphone was
did? I
dead.
didn't hear that.
Yeah, I screamed
Oh.
Stephen Bonnet. That was a no-brainer.
I said it after because I didn't know. I didn't understand the rules, but now I understand.
Okay. On the count of 3, let's all say who we think Jenny's is.
Yeah, I don't
Meaning
even know.
when I say 3, we all scream it out. Okay,
Okay.
ready? 1, 2, 3. Dougal.
Dougal.
Dougal, the king of all narcissists.
That's such an easy one, though.
Do you have a different one?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Fair.
On the count of 3, let's all do lists. Does everybody have lists?
No, hold on. Oh, yeah.
It's
I mean, that's a
between
given.
2, really.
It's between two, but I think we're all going to go with the most
The bigger
hated.
one?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Frank.
Frank the Tank.
That was so rude, but that is so correct.
I don't think you guys are going to get mine.
I don't know. I got to be honest with you.
I'm really stumped, but I think I have a guess. I don't know.
Okay, you guys go ahead and do it.
I have nothing.
Okay,
You have nothing? Do you have
Well-
one, Bessie?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Do you want us to
I don't
wait
know
for
if
you,
I'm
Jenny?
right.
No, go ahead.
I don't think
you
I'm
sure?
right, but yeah.
I don't think I'm right either. I'm gonna fucking say it though.
So fucking feisty today.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Mhm.
3, 2, 1. Galis.
The Calm Saint Germain.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Honestly, those are both my two. Like, you
We
guys
got it.
make your thirst traps about Roger and Frank and I don't know, John Quincy Myers and apparently Tom Christie these days.
Yes.
But the
yes.
Comte Saint-Germain, I'm sorry. He's on my hall pass. And
Oh,
I
he's
know people hate
fine.
him. I know people hate him, but I think that I think that he has reason for being the way he is. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, those were good answers though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were really good.
So I don't know
No.
how much more time we have, but I think there's a couple here that we could answer pretty easily. From Alyssa, which is each of your favorite book of the series, and which is your favorite season of the show? Liz, why don't you go first?
So I'm 8 chapters away from the end of The Fiery Cross, which is book 5. And thus far, my favorite book is Voyager. I just connected with that book so much on so many different levels. And I want to say, obviously, book 1 is also a favorite, but that's really in a category by itself, similar to season 1 being a category all by itself, because nothing else will ever be like book 1 or season 1. But book 3, Voyager, is my favorite of the series, and season 3 is my favorite of the series. But I will say that season 7 has really risen to the top, and it's right under season 3. I really do love season 7. But
Love
season
you.
3 is still my favorite. Love you.
All right, I gotta hop in with
Okay.
Liz on that one. If I'm gonna give my show first, like you said, season 1, there's something magical. I could probably watch
Mhm.
episode 1 all day long and never change it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to newer seasons, like what's next, I know it's not popular, Doreen, but I really loved season 7. I think it's like we can take out the very last 15 minutes of the show of season 7B,
Oh.
whatever that was. If we take that out,
Right.
it's very, very different from the books. But again,
Yeah.
I feel like I can absolutely separate them and enjoy it for what it is.
Mhm.
Now, when it comes to the books, Bees is probably my favorite at this point. And that sounds very cliche because it's the last one, but there's just so much in there. Like it's amazing. Now I'm also going to add in a novella, and that would be A Leaf on the Wind of All Hallows. So
Yes.
yep. Oh, Katie gave it a thumbs.
Do you
Katie is
know
still
that after
mad?
Still sad. Okay.
Kate, did you guys know that Katie texted me after she finished reading the book, and she said, "I have no idea why this is your favorite novella. This is horrible."
Oh no. So
And she
good.
said, "Just kidding." Yeah,
I don't like
it's true.
books that end on a sad note, and that
Ah.
you guys are like, it's so good, you have to read it so we can talk about it. And I read it, and I was like,
is.
oh,
It completely ripped our hearts out of our bodies. 100%. It just
Literally.
it destroyed us, but it is so good. It
Yeah.
is so good.
It
it was
is.
really good. It was
There's
really
a
good.
lot
It was just
in there.
extremely
So
sad.
please
Yeah.
go read
Mhm.
it right now. Anyone listening?
And the
Yeah.
space between two. Yes.
Doreen, do you want to go or me?
You go ahead.
Okay, so for me, like Jenny and Liz said, season 1, book 1, category of its own, because that will always be my favorite, I think, overall. But season 3 for sure for me. And then I just finished book 3. So I feel like I'm not able to give a very good answer, but so far Voyager is my favorite. I'll be curious to see if that changes as I go, get more into the books. I'll be curious to see.
I think if anybody's been paying attention to Doreen, they'll know what favorite book hers is. Because there's a very special edition sitting behind her.
There. Yeah, my favorite is Written in My Own Heart's Blood, followed very closely by Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. And that's a more recent thing because I've just reread it twice in the last 3 months. And then I will add in the Space Between novella. I don't really have a favorite season of the show. I guess it would probably be season 1 for me, just because I really love the Scotland aspect, and that's something, as being a book reader first, I could visualize, but I never really understood. I've never been to Scotland. I had never looked it up before I read this book series, and just seeing how beautiful Scotland really is really captivated me watching the show for the first time in a way that I didn't expect. So
I
that would
will
be
say
mine.
for me personally, season 2 is not my favorite. Not because it's not good, just because I think it's full of so much sadness. I absolutely devoured Dragonflight and Amber. Like, it's easily one of my favorite books. It's just so good. I loved it. I had a hard time putting it down. I don't know. I enjoyed the book and the way it was told. I just feel like season 2, it was just, they were getting hit with sadnesses around every corner. And I'm like, oh
that's
no.
my second favorite season. I really love it. And it's because of Master Raymond.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next question comes from Carolyn. Which Outlander character do you relate to the most and why? Ooh. I can go first if you
I
guys
can
need to
probably
think
take
about
this
it.
one first.
Okay, Jenny, take it.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
We have a lag, you and I. Okay. This isn't going to be a surprise, but it's not because I love Dougal. But when it comes to
Yes,
like
it is.
his, I'm going to call it passion. Like, look, I told this to these guys. I am a do not rehire at 2 places because of my mouth, because I have such a, like, when I see injustice, I cannot keep my mouth shut. And it's almost an embarrassment to the people around me. So when I see him, like, this is for Scotland, this is why I'm so like, yes, this is for Scotland. This isn't for him. This is for everybody. Like, that kind of passion is the person I am. I know that that's not what you see it, whether I'm on a live with one of these guys or with how I'm putting up sewing videos. Who gives a shit? So I get like a lunatic. I accidentally, this is not a lie, and this isn't for like a pat on the back or anything. I accidentally raised $48,000 in my living room in my pajamas once. Like, not kidding. For a woman I didn't know. I just inserted myself into the situation. And after everything was said and done, we were able to donate $35,000 to her family. Like, I get, like, even you can hear, like, I'm all fired up right now. So God forbid something happens to anyone. I'm like, okay, rally the troops. We need to get shit done. So when I see something like that portrayed, that's what fires me up. So that's that.
I can see it, honestly.
Now I gotta calm down.
Deep breaths.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. And I think my answer might surprise all of you. And it's very book specific, but the character that I relate to the most is Brianna. And it's because she's very understated but badass, and she always wants to get to the bottom of everything. And she has notebook after notebook after notebook trying to get to the bottom of time travel, quantum physics, just anything that she's going to figure out that can help someone she loves or figure out their circumstance, that's what she's going to do. And it's all about using her brain to help everybody around her, and also just kind of being a lot tougher than people think she is. I just feel like I relate to that a lot. And it's kind of how, it doesn't sound very humble that that's how I view myself, but if somebody presents me with a problem, I'm going to intellectualize through it until I freaking intellectualize it to death. And I view Brianna like that,
No, that makes
especially in
complete
later
sense.
books. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Katie?
Yeah, I
Wow.
see that.
The first person that comes to mind for me, as much as people don't like him, is Roger. I've always been like the quiet, nerdy kind of type person. And Roger has gone through so much in his life, as have I, and he still gets up, you know, and keeps fighting. And I feel like that's very reminiscent in my life too. I've had a lot of times that have knocked me down, and you know, what choice do you have but to get back up and go? And I feel like that's very, you know, reminiscent of Roger too. And just sometimes feeling like you don't have a place or you don't belong or you're not sure what you want to do with your life. I became a mom when I was very, very young, and I kind of, you know, am still like, what do I want to do with my life? Because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and, you know, I'm trying to figure out the direction I want to go when I do go back to work. What do I want to do? What's going to make me happy? So I don't know. I just feel like, I know people don't like him, but I feel like I relate very much with Roger.
I like Roger. I think he has a lot of redeeming qualities. I just think the show portrays him as a weak ass little bitch, and I hate that. But Katie, you are not a weak ass bitch
I
in
do
any
like
way.
him.
You're like, you know, badass
No.
baby. I love you.
I do.
That's right.
And that's the thing, though. I think Roger is very, Roger will throw down for his family, right? And I'm the same way. Like, I'm very quiet. I'm very timid until you mess with my family or my friends. And then I'm like, no, wait a minute. You know,
I will fuck shit up.
yeah. Like
Yep.
Jenny says, I'll flip a table.
Oh my
That's right.
God. Somebody accidentally came to an apartment Ryan and I were living in, and they thought it was their friend's apartment one floor up. And the guy just walked into my house. I didn't have the door closed. I knew where Ryan was and I knew where my dad was. And I heard that door open. And when I tell you, this noise came out of my body that I had never heard before, because I was like, who's in my house? And like the guy ran for the hills. His friend came down. He's like, I'm so sorry. He thought he got confused in the floors. I'm so sorry. We're not, like, you just do what you have to do for your family, and you don't know what you're capable of until
Yeah.
it shows up. So yeah, I get that.
The guy
It's so
is now
funny that
forever
what
telling
you
the
said
story
reminded
that.
me.
Oh, see, this is what I mean. We have the lag. All I was going to say is the
I
guy
know, the lag.
upstairs is talking about how he has a demon living below him, like the voice that
Right.
came out.
I'm not kidding. It was this like, and I was like, oh my God, I scared myself, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
I hear you.
I
hear
literally
ya.
just read the part in Voyager with Claire and Galus in the cave, and she's talking about when the guy sideswiped her and Brianna was in the car, and she was like,
Yes.
the look on that guy's face, like, I would have busted the window. He knew I would have too. And I'm just like, yeah, that's that mother's instinct. That's that,
Absolutely.
that, you know, it's like a biological thing to protect your,
Yeah, you
your
can't
children.
quell
So,
it. It just comes out, and you don't even
No.
know, like, you had it in you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's
All right,
next?
what about you, Liz?
So I love what everyone has said so far. I definitely do feel like I relate a little bit to Roger also, but I have two different ones that I feel I really see parts of myself in. So the first one is, and it is emotional to talk about, but it's season 2, Claire, when she loses faith. And as someone who has experienced that kind of loss, I see a lot of myself and my pain and grief in her, but I also really have an appreciation for Claire's healing journey and the way she found the strength to go on and persevere through one of the hardest moments of her entire life. And I'm as sad, as heartbreaking as it is, every time to rewatch it or reread it, I find comfort in knowing that it gets better for her and it has gotten better for me, and it's taken time. Every day is a different adventure. Every day is a different journey, but that there is power in healing and time and giving yourself grace. So I connect with Claire in that way for sure. And I feel very eldest daughter vibes with Marcelly. Marcelly's the kind of girl who will show up at your house with a baseball bat, okay?
That's my girl.
That's me. I'll bust every window. I'll do whatever I gotta do. I will protect the family, right? I will protect the family. And I just love how she knows what she wants. She says what she wants. I tend to do that also, even though it gets me into some trouble when I do sometimes. But I'm very proud, like Marcelly, to take up the space that I'm in and just say, I'm here. You got a problem? You could say it to my face. It's fine. Let's talk about it. So I see a lot of myself in Marcelly. Also, her growth journey, right? Of being the eldest sister. I'm also the eldest sister, the eldest daughter. And so I see a lot of myself in her also. And I've really come to appreciate her character as she has grown as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter. I've really come to appreciate her character.
I like
I can
Marcelly.
definitely see that.
I love it. I love that. I do too. I love her. There are still so many questions. I think we have time maybe for one more today, like before we have to get off. So I'm just gonna randomly pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find one that's
Okay.
not so in depth. There's so many, you guys. Okay, this is a good one. This is a good note to end on for today. From Allison. Hi, ladies. Love your podcast and truly admire your friendship. I hear you talk about the novellas being so magical and important to the story. I don't usually read side stories, but am wondering if I skip them, am I missing out on big plot points of the series? To that point, I do not like Lord John. Can I skip his books altogether?
Allison, I love
I knew
you.
Katie's face.
Allison, hit me up, Allison.
Allison,
You're in trouble.
We can chat, girl. My little poisonous mushroom.
Allison,
Okay,
Allison, it's
I'm gonna
me and
quickly
you.
answer, and then I'm gonna let
rip
Katie.
my heart out.
Poor Katie, she's just defending Lord John with her life. Okay, there's what I'm gonna say. You have to read the novellas and you have to read the companions if you're trying to get a complete picture of the Outlander universe. Diana has said that the novellas are parts that she wanted to put in the main books, but she didn't have the space because she really wanted to expand, and they'd be 5,000-page books. All of the secrets to understanding the universe, in my opinion, are in the novellas. As for the Lord John books, I don't particularly care for them. I don't mind Lord John. I don't think he's a poisonous mushroom like Jenny does. I don't love him like Katie does. I'm kind of indifferent. I like his character. But I do think the books need to be read, but do not read them while you're reading the main books. Read them way down the road because it's going to take you out of the main series. Katie, sorry, I love you. And it sends you on a completely different journey, and you're learning stuff that you haven't learned in the main books yet. Like, I think it's the worst way to read the books. I love you, Katie. Please don't take that personally. It's my own personal opinion. So, yes, you have to read them, but read them after you read everything else. Okay, you guys go ahead.
I love the novellas.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
I think there's so much information in these books, and like I'm not here to be Doreen's hype girl, but if you're on TikTok and you're watching her videos, they are really going to give you insight into helping you read these books. Like I don't know that this is something I would have understood without reading the novellas and watching your videos, because there's just so much in these books. And look, the funny thing is, Diana's concerned about people not wanting to read 5,000-page books. We would have. We would have had to get through the the wedding for Liz
Hmm.
in Bruno and been like, oh God, is it ever ending? But the
Oh my
amount of
God.
information that is, yeah, read the novellas. There's so much great info in them.
Thanks for being my hype
Yeah, I
girl,
will say
Jenny.
they're great. I've only read a few. I've read Virgins, A Fugitive Green, and A Leaf. And I'm now reading the first Lord John. I'm not very far into it yet. But I will say they are very good at filling in the gaps of where, not that there's like plot holes or anything. I don't mean that. I just mean like it's kind of like an additional layer from another point of view that
Yeah,
you get.
that's exactly it.
So like on A Leaf, you're getting to see things through Jerry's point of view instead of Roger's, whereas Roger's we're only seeing, and I've not gotten that far in the book yet, but in the show I'm speaking about, like, we only get to see that through Roger's eyes. So for Jerry, you get to see how he came to be there, meeting Roger, what was that like? And then they're just good. I agree. You have to read the novellas as well. And Lord John, I mean, I don't know how you could not like Lord John Bay, but that's just me. I still
So
love
true.
you.
So true. I want to take a moment to speak like as an English teacher right now, right? So I'm gonna put my nerdy hat on right now. And I think for me, I agree with everything that has been said, and I agree, Katie, with what you said about how these stories fill in gaps, not for plot holes, but maybe wonderings. They fill in wonderings, or they give you an additional insight or just an additional layer to think about. But what I have found in addition with the novellas is coming from a perspective of character development and really like breaking through these different levels of the characters and getting to see them at different points in their lives. It just adds a whole new atmosphere to who these people are as we have come to know them and fall in love with them in the story. And when you're talking about character development, I'm not just talking about like, what do they look like? How do they behave? What are some of the conflicts that they find themselves in? I'm talking about character development like, how do they think? How are they processing things? What things have happened to them that have made them become the way that they are? And what do they add to the greater part of the story? So I have loved the novellas that I have read so far, in particular Leaf and The Space Between. And I will also say Virgins added a whole other layer to Jamie and Ian's character development as well, which I loved getting. I have not fully read the companions yet. I've really only gone into them to look for very specific things when I have a wondering or when I know something is in there, and I do plan to tackle them one day. But I would say read them. Definitely read them. And I'm actually very excited to read the Lord John Bay series because I do really like him in the books, and I have come to love him in the show. And I'm very curious about his character and his life. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Well, and I want to add, like, even in A Fugitive Green, I read that after Dragonfly and Amber. It was so interesting to see things from Hal's point of view, which is Lord John Grey's brother, and just how he came to be in that position. So when you go into Voyager, I got so excited when he came into the cabin and saw Jamie, because I'm like, oh my God, I know him. I know his whole backstory. I know, why he's doing these things. Like Liz said, it just explains so much. And it gives you I feel like it gives you a peek behind the curtain of Diana's mind. You know what I mean? Like what she's thinking, how she's developing these characters.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. They're amazing. The ones that I've read so far.
They are.
Yeah. I agree.
I love that. A little peek behind the curtain. I love that.
You just want to peek behind the curtain at Roger McDaddy.
You want to peek behind Frank's curtain.
Yes, I do.
That's what it is.
Yes, I sure do. Both of them. Give them to me. Give them to me. Yep. I do.
Dougal
Jamie,
wears
too.
a
I
curtain.
love you, Jamie. Yes.
Dougal wears a curtain around his waist.
I don't really care what's behind Dougal's curtain, to be honest. So.
But we love you, Graham.
We love
Me
you,
and
Graham.
Caitlin.
We love you, Graham. Yes, we do.
All right, so I think we've kind of hit the max. We still have so many questions. I know we will revisit, like we said, some of these in individual episodes, and we will come back and try to get to everybody's questions in the future. This episode may be so long we have to even break this one into two. We're not sure yet. So thank you guys so much for actively participating in the podcast, sending us these questions, caring what we think. It means a lot to us, and we really are trying to connect and give you guys what you're asking for and what you want to know. So keep sending questions and keep tuning in.
Everyone, we love hearing from you. Keep tuning in. Keep following these lovely ladies on social media, and we will see you next time.
Keep tuning in for more Outlander deep dives and theories.
We will see you in the space between.
And until next time, stay Outlander unhinged.